All right, so as promised, I'm doing the bet percentage, the money percentage, and tracking the line movement for each game. So let's get right into it.
Welcome to the source. Hey, get the source. The source. The source. Hey, get the source.
All right, let's start off with Chicago at Orlando. Now, a lot of books had this one opened up as a pick'em, but a ton of sharp money came in on the Bulls early. This line moved from 0, pick'em, down to Chicago -2 quick. Now, as we get into this afternoon, it looks like there is a little bit of Orlando Magic money coming back in. Not enough to move the line. We're still sitting at Orlando +2. And like I said in my video last night, I have this one capped at Orlando +4.5. So I'll be sticking with my original pick. I'm playing Chicago -2 tonight. Lock it in. If anything changes, I'll tweet about it and put it on my Instagram story. So make sure you check those two platforms to make sure nothing's changed with that pick. Okay, next up, Pelicans versus Pacers in Indiana. This one opened up Indiana -3.5. And although the bets came in pretty even, money was favoring the Pelicans here, and this line dropped from 3.5 to 2 pretty quickly. But look what happens later in the morning. Sharp money comes in and slams the Pelicans here. I'm talking 90% of the money. Line drops all the way to Indiana -1, which puts me in a difficult spot. If you watched my video last night, you know I have this one capped at exactly Indiana -1. So now the spread has dropped down to 1. Kind of puts me in a difficult spot. One of my books still has this at New Orleans +1.5, so I'm gonna hit it. But now that the line has dropped so low, it's no longer one of my favorite picks. I am playing New Orleans +1.5 though. Lock it in. You know the deal. If anything changes, I'll tweet it and put it on my Instagram story. Next. Okay, next up, Nets Raptors in Brooklyn. This line opened up Brooklyn -5.5 points. And actually some early Toronto Raptors money came in, knocked this one from 5.5 down to 5. But from there, bets and money were trending towards the Nets. Line has now moved back up to 5.5. Now none of this matters to me because I actually have this one capped at Brooklyn -9.5, which I know sounds crazy, but that's how I'm feeling about this game. So I don't care if it's 5.5, 6, 6.5. I'm taking Brooklyn here. Give me Brooklyn -5.5, lock it in. If anything changes, I'll tweet it and put it on my Instagram story. Next up, Cavs versus Bucks in Cleveland. This line opened up Cleveland +10. Cavs getting 10 points at home. Bets and money were all over the Bucks from the rip here. Now, when this line hit 11, a little bit of Cleveland Cavs money started to come in, and it dropped it back down to 10.5. I'm in a little bit of a situation in this game. I had this, if you watched the video last night, you know I have this one capped at Cleveland +11. So we're sitting at 10.5. So it's not, I'm still playing the Bucks here. I'm still gonna take Bucks -10.5. But I honestly thought some Cavs money was gonna come in and this line was gonna drop down to 9.5, 9. In which case I would love the Bucks here. But at 10.5, I'm still playing it. Give me Milwaukee -10.5. If anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, you already know. Next up, Jazz are in Charlotte, play the Hornets. This line opened up Charlotte +8, and an insane amount of sharp money came in on the Charlotte Hornets. This line dropped from 8 to 7.5, all the way down to 7. And goddamn, I wish I jumped on Utah -7 here. I missed it because I'm an asshole. A ton of Jazz money has since come in, and the line is back up to 8.5. Now, if you watched last night's video, you know I have this one capped at Utah -9. So I'm still playing the Jazz here. I would have just loved Utah -7. But either way, give me Utah -8.5, lock it in. If anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, you already know. Oklahoma City against Minnesota here in the worst game of the night. Two bad teams to begin with and a lot of injuries. This line opened up Thunder +2.5. And I tweeted out, I put on Twitter and Instagram that everyone to go take that OKC +2.5. So I took that. Now, SGA and Dort are both out for the Thunder. So even though Towns isn't playing, this is not like a layup for the Thunder to win this game. But the money and the bets have been on the Thunder, so the line has moved from OKC +2.5 all the way up to OKC -1. So regardless of who you like in the game, you got to admit that OKC +2.5 to have that ticket, you know you're sitting with some value. So that ticket's already locked in. I have OKC +2.5. Let's move on to the next. Heat versus Wizards. This one opened up Miami -7.5. It actually dropped to 6.5 very quickly though. Bets and money both favoring the Heat. Nothing crazy early, slightly favoring the Heat. Now here we are in the afternoon. The line is still Miami -6.5, and you have to ask yourself why. Because there's a ton of sharp money in on Miami right now. Bets are split down the middle, almost 50-50, and money is all over the Heat. So why hasn't it moved back up to 7.5? You want to know why? Because the books like Washington in this one, which is good because I had this one capped Washington plus 5.5 or maybe plus 4.5. Either way, I'm taking Washington plus 6.5, and I really like this pick. Lock it in. If anything changes with this pick or any of these picks, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story, so make sure you check those 2 platforms. If you're gonna follow me on these picks or fade me, I don't care. Make sure you check. Let's go. Let's win some money tonight.